Welcome to Life in the Dad Lane, episode 15. 5 months. I'm Ed Placencia. That's Lane Compton. And it's 5 months.
It is as of 2 days ago.
Yeah.
The first.
5 months. That's weird. I mean, that's how numbers work and that's how time works, but still.
Well, I guess the nice thing for me is having the date that I can actually account for, because in between the last, when we were still doing weeks till now when we're just doing months, it feels good. Yeah. But it is also shocking. I mean, the whole thing this year of, oh, wow, we're already in December. I have a kid that's 5 months old and we're about to start the new year. It's like, what in the world?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's wild.
It is. And the last time we talked, it was, like you said, we're recording in December, and it was before Thanksgiving. So I know you guys decided to put Trick Baby to the test and go on another plane.
We did.
And so I know a lot has happened. So what has been going on with you guys?
Yes, there's a lot to catch up on. Trick Baby is still fooling us. Did well.
Really? All
with
right.
the flying.
All right.
And that was a very different story, because last time he pretty much slept through everything. This time he was up quite a bit and had some fussing here and there, but stuck to our guns on the takeoff and landing, where we're trying to feed at that time or get a pacifier in so that the air pressure in the ears doesn't affect him. And He did really well in that, and he was able to nap. We were lucky. We had seats in between us we had 4 legs, so we did the flight breakup, so it wasn't a really long extended flight.
Yeah.
So it was like a 2.5 and then a 3.5 or something like that. I think in that way, it really helped to get off the plane, get a break. He could, move around more, I guess. It's like he's not running or walking now, but it just feels better to get him out and changed outside of the tiny little cabin. Although I think changing in the bathroom on the plane is almost easier than the pull down things in the bathroom.
Really?
At least for me, because of the height. And so, yeah, did really well. And we traveled to Florida and he got to experience the beach for the first time.
Wow.
Which was kind of a cool milestone for many reasons. One, sand. That texture is a whole new thing.
Yeah.
And one thing that I learned that I think is pretty cool about that is how much babies kind of learn through their feet, through texture and through feeling things. And when they're born, there's like their bones aren't connected in any place really, but in the feet in particular, there's like really no bones, and they grow, and all the cartilage and ligaments and all those things also start assimilating. But before then, there's still, nerve receptors, there's feelings in those feet. So they're kind of like exploring and learning things through that. And it helps with brain development, which I thought was so cool. Helping kind of create new pathways through discovery. And one article thing that came up through that was just how important, if you can, to keep them not wearing socks too much. I know if it's cold, like you want to keep the feet warm, but so that they aren't, one, like as they begin, because he's in the point now where it's like crawling, I can see isn't too far off. Because on tummy time, yeah, he's starting to kind of push up, and he can now also roll over, which is a whole other thing that we need to discuss in this episode. But so he's not pushing and his feet are slipping, so he's not losing that trajectory of like, now I can push here, that means I can start moving in this way. So babies in general, don't lose that, but also exploring through their feet different textures, and not wearing like shoes or socks that are too tight, because growth does happen, as we've kind of learned, in spurts, so that they don't confine how the foot is growing, so that the arch can grow naturally. Balance can then be learned more appropriately based on what their foot is doing in its growth, which again is like so many things that I would have never thought about.
Right.
So that was really cool to see that exploration. and also the growth in it in the few days that we were there, because at first we were at the ocean and the waves, the sand, the texture, the temperature, all of that, and the sound. I think it was a little overwhelming and overstimulating, and he had to like
really
kind of be slowly introduced to those things.
Yeah.
It was a little overwhelming for him the first day because he loves a bath, but it's much, much warmer, of course.
Right,
and there aren't waves crashing down, and
Yeah.
you're, you know, feeling much safer and protected. And then there isn't the other thing of like, what is this sensation and, you know, sand.
And because I remember you saying that babies kind of map their surroundings by putting things in their mouth, did he eat a lot of sand?
No sand eating. Not that I saw.
Good.
At least, I mean, there may have been a grain or two. Let's be honest. I'm sure I couldn't have kept everything out, but no, I'd say generally we didn't just put him down in it, because I had read about the texture thing and watched some videos about that. I was kind of holding him and just letting him kind of like push his feet down and just kind of explore and see what that was all about. Same with getting into the ocean, like splashing and kicking up and down with his feet and his hands. So we kind of took a few steps back, and there was also a pool that we could get into. So we started more with the pool at first. He was a little bit more comfortable and was going in that with us. In his like full body UV swimsuits, because you still can't put babies in the sun too long, because you can't have them wearing sunscreen because the skin is so sensitive. So all those things that I've been learning and hearing about all kind of coming into a head all at once. Like, but he did really well. And we realized too that with that suit, the full body suit, which is protectant from the sun, well, once he's in the water, we're like kind of like putting him in and then holding him of it. It's like, well, no, we should just either commit to being in or commit to, okay, we've had our time, let's get out. Because it gets wet, and then he's not in the same temperature and, you know, as you or I would. It's like, if I'm in the water, I feel good. If I get out, it's like, oh, it's actually really cold. I'd rather be in the water. And just like those simple things, I think we were kind of overlooking. And the fact that he was wearing swim diapers, which are different than regular diapers, which are great that they exist, but also they're not absorbent like regular diapers are, because if they were, they'd be absorbing all the liquid that they're swimming in. Right? Obviously. Right. I mean, it's like, duh. But yeah, so you have to be careful with when you put them in that, and then pulling out. It's like, oh yeah, we got to get him out of that diaper. Or let's not put him in the swim diaper quite yet, because he hasn't done the number 2 yet. Let's wait till he's just getting into the pool. So yeah, there was a lot to learn and try.
What does the UV suit look like? Does it look like a snowsuit for kids, or is it like a
kind of like a wetsuit?
Okay,
think of wetsuit, but it isn't so tight.
Yeah, okay.
And
that's so funny.
Fun kids colors and designs. You know,
right.
One that's all dinosaurs and one that's like palm trees, and you know, he was wearing a hat as well to protect from his head from the sun. And God, you know, they just look so cute in those things.
Yeah.
Well,
and going back to one thing you mentioned, will he be crawling by the new year?
No,
I
don't think so. I mean, a lot can change in a month. I almost said yeah, but I was like, wait, that's less than 30 days. You know, it's like I don't know. We might start seeing some wiggles and like he's moving around on his stomach, and as I said, he is rolling over, and he's kind of like at times shifting backwards in a way.
Yeah,
but he's not quite like up on all fours in a way that you see kids crawling. So maybe there'll be like some army crawl, like pulling himself. But I don't know. I would say the milestone that will be reached, which I think is kind of on track if I remember correctly, is truly sitting up on his own. He's doing that, but then he sees something he wants to grab, and it's
the tip over. Yeah.
There's no stopping it.
Right.
And we've had some nosedives as like, oh look, he's up on his own. Oh crap, he just face planted into the carpet. But no, he is sitting up. If you put him on the rug and he's there, he can sit up on his own until he decides, oh wait, what's that thing? And he's back or forward. So I think maybe by the the holiday New Year coming up that he will feel more confident in that. Yeah. And able to catch himself. I hope, but that might be far reaching too, but it won't be far off.
Because he's turning over now, is he still sleeping in the, I forget the name, I'm going to say baby sleeping bag?
Yes, good question. Because that's one of the things I wanted to address with the fact that he's rolling over is how sleeping and what the things are going to change. Yeah. So we had pulled him out of the sleeping bag that he was more like swaddled, where his arms would be in. Already, because he had started to kind of roll over at times, but it wasn't a consistent thing that we saw, oh, he's really doing that, but wanted to just be cautious. So he had a sleep sack that just goes over the shoulders. His arms were now free. So we had moved to that, and we will continue that because within that there's ability to move the legs enough that if he does, and when he does roll over, he'll have his hands free to help himself. But what is changing that has my wife kind of heartbroken is the bassinet right next to the bed, where he's too big for the one we have. And kind of it doesn't work with the rolling over. Like his weight, which is now, I feel like this is rapid fire, like anyone keeping track of the things happening today. Yeah. And so I apologize, but it's been a couple weeks since we've chatted. But is just over 15 pounds. So wow, he's getting bigger. And the bassinet that we have, he's like, when he's lying down, his feet are almost touching the bottom as his head's almost touching the top. And he doesn't have that much room on either side. So if he were to roll over, he could get kind of caught in a way. But I also think he's having trouble sleeping as much as he was before, and I think some of that might be that if he moves in any way, he hits something, and then he wakes up and he's like, "Wow, I'm awake. What the hell's going on?" So we have a kind of an interim bassinet that we're going to bring in between this smaller one that we're having to get rid of and the crib that's in his room on his own.
Will the interim bassinet still be next to the bed or like against the wall? Okay.
If it fits as I think it will, my wife would love for it to be next to the bed. Yeah. She's really not ready to let go of that. Yeah. And she's already bummed because she has this thing with the bassinet that we have now where she can unlock the top arm that goes around it, or the top, like the ring of the top, where she can push it down and look in and see him if he's fussing. Okay. So every morning when he's like kind of rising and talking to himself or to the world and letting everyone know I'm here, she likes to push it down and go, "Hey," and he like, does that every morning and gets so excited to see her. And she's been trying to film it, but he has this innate ability that if the camera's rolling, it's just like, what is that thing? Right. What am I supposed to perform for you? Like, I want my day rate, man. Right. So she hasn't caught it and she's really bummed. But yeah, he's been not sleeping as well. So we think and because of his size, weight, height, and the fact that he's rolling over, the crib comes with the instructions that when he is this weight and he starts doing those things, that you need to move on to the next thing.
It's so weird, kind of like how we've gone from counting weeks, now we're in counting months, and I feel like he's probably already at that size where, for so long when he was, still in the tummy and everything, it was comparing him to fruit and food. And I feel like he's too big to be a food anymore.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, it's like small dog now. You know, it's like
Right.
he's bigger than some of the small dogs in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fruit's out the window now. You know, a large pumpkin or something.
Yeah,
You know, I
a
don't
roast
know.
beast of some
Yeah,
sort.
exactly.
Yeah.
Some roast beef, like we may have enjoyed for Thanksgiving if you had a 16-pound turkey, like we did.
Right.
Yeah,
Wow. That's just crazy.
yeah, it is. And starting to feel it a little bit. It's like, oh man, you're heavy.
Right?
You know, I can't just like be on the ground and roll over, pick you up like I used to. It's like I gotta kind of position myself to make sure I can do that.
Do you find yourself intentionally switching arms you hold him on? Because you're like, I don't want to like crank my
Oh,
back
yeah.
out by always picking him up on the left arm, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for you. Good.
Yeah. No, very much so. I mean, less so for like the foresight, but more just like convenience of like, I'm tired. I got to shift. Like, yeah. So good for me. Sure. I appreciate that. But no, it's just because,
My arm hurts.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, so I just want to make sure because I feel like I am rapid fire through so many things. So yeah, with the rolling over, it started that he was going from his back to his stomach, but now he can do both. And so that's a kind of a big milestone for sleep in particular. And now if he is sleeping and rolls over to his stomach, because he has the ability with his hands that he can stay there. You still, I think, if I'm quoting correctly, that you should still put him always on his back to start, is what's recommended. But yeah, if he or they, babies in general, choose to roll over, they can and sleep on their stomach. And he's doing that a little bit even in tummy time. He'll be, up on his forearms, kind of like looking around playing, and it's like he gets the toy and then he's just like, okay, I'm done. And he will kind of turn and put his head to the side and be like, I'm spent.
Right.
Which is cute.
And from what you mentioned, it sounds like he's still just as talkative as he was.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. If not more. I think more like interactive with it in a way. Mm-hmm. Like if he knows he's playing with you and you start doing a thing and then he responds to it, then he goes, okay, your turn. Do that thing again.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do my thing now.
Right.
And there does seem to be more of a kind of call and response. Mm-hmm. In a sense, like in the realization too that peekaboo is now more of a thing where he's like, oh, that's fun. I get that now. Like my wife was saying the other day, she did it with him and she's like, he finally gets it. He thinks it's funny, And that wasn't always the case. So that kind of call and response, just interactive call and response is happening more.
Yeah.
Which is really sweet and cool to see. And just, makes kind of playing with him more engaging on both ends.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's so cool.
Yeah. The other thing I had a note about, which I thought was interesting, that came up, we traveled to see a buddy of mine and his wife and 2 kids, and they're a little bit older, 2 and 5.
Okay.
And one of the things that came up was decibel levels for sleep machines, for sound in general, that they are around in a longer period of time, or what their like little room hangout area could be or should be, what decibel level. And within that, I was like, well, what about when you're on an airplane? Like, what does that do for you? And like, it's kind of a thing where there was a spread of like thoughts about it when we started looking up, and my buddy has his thought and, was like walking around. He's got the decibel app on his phone. So he like put it next to the stroller when we had the sound machine. He goes, okay, yeah, that's okay. Cause it was like 0.7 and under, or 70 decibels and under. And I guess like normal conversation is around there, 60 to 70. But when it gets louder than that, 80 plus, it can be actually damaging to ears if they're exposed to it on a longer period of time. And so we were thinking about, we've got him headphones, like little ear muffs rather, because we had heard, there are some activities that you might engage in. And it's like, oh, we were at that really loud night before the wedding bar with everyone. It's like, that was certainly way louder than 70, 80 decibels. It felt loud and kind of chaotic to me. Like, it must have felt very jarring to him. And so we thought we should get some headphones, especially for flights, or we have a wedding we'll have to do next year, do a much longer flight. And so we're planning to wear the headphones for that, because on the plane and takeoff, and even it isn't that much quieter when you're not flying, or not taking off rather, but they're 80, 90, as you're doing the takeoff decibels, which is quite a bit louder than what is recommended for a prolonged time. So something that kind of came up between us and him, and like, what do you do when he was, had the whole app, and now of course we have the app, and another one to add to the collection for babies. But then it was also like, well, do you use it for flying? It's like, oh, or like earphones. And he's like, oh, it hadn't occurred to me. It's like, oh, well, so teach their own, but I feel like, you don't want to be damaging. And it's like, well, my parents didn't have me in headphones. I'm sure I was around loud things.
Right.
And I don't know, for me, it kind of like, it's in between. Like, is this new age going to be so soft because we're all so worried about them and helicopter parents around them? Or is it, no, we've learned through science that it does hurt. And so maybe I will lose hearing at an earlier stage than my kid if I help him now by putting headphones on, or earmuffs, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What's your initial gut reaction to when you hear that? Like,
I mean, my initial gut reaction was definitely like, oh, a plane is super loud.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm surprised it's only 80 or 90. I don't know what I thought it would be even higher than that.
When taking off, it can kind of jump up above, but yeah.
Yeah. And then I wonder, of course, when he's asleep, you and your wife are quiet, but when he's not, are you guys a loud house? And not as in you yell at each other, but like around here, it's, Sarah and I will, what are you doing, baby? I'm not doing, just all sorts of silliness. Are you guys like silly loud talkers? Yeah.
Silly definitely happens. And whether we're interacting with him or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And music playing, and, like we just had a Friendsgiving at the house with like 14 people, and
oh, nice,
music was going and everyone's talking over each other and having fun. And even in that, he fell asleep on one of our friends for dinner,
right?
And it's like asleep for the whole time. I was like, wow, she must be the baby whisperer, or he's just so zonked out from having so much fun,
right?
But yeah, I mean, the decibel thing, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I never would have thought about it, except for like a plane or, like a rock concert or something. But
Sure.
In general, I don't think I even would have thought about it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have
I guess
occurred to me.
I wouldn't have either. I feel like I've been seeing that more often. Like, you go to a sporting event.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that baby has earmuffs on or headphones or whatever. Noise canceling headphones.
Did he wear them on the plane then on the way back or on the way out?
We tried it for one leg.
How'd he do?
I think he was okay with it, but it, after a certain time, it's like he turns and it's like turning on his face, and
right.
It's like, eh. So yeah, it was more upsetting. But I think for a longer flight, I think that prolonged exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is good. I don't know. I gotta read up on it more. I mean, when you do just a quick Google search, it'll come up and it's suggested that it's kept like around 50, 60, and we're already blowing that right now just by us talking.
Right.
We're louder than that.
Well, and I wonder also, like, what a prolonged time, like, does that mean, oh, an occasional flight is fine, but if baby's jetting off to Vegas every weekend, that like that's too much, like what is a prolonged time, is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess in that case, I'd be more worried with their gambling habit than their eardrums.
That's true. They love the lights of the slots,
They do. Really... they love those slots.
I assume is he still drooling a lot? Is he teething? Is that what it's? Does he?
Oh yeah, the teeth are in, my friend.
What?
The teeth are
Plural?
well, not fully grown, but they are punctured through the gums, and two of them, the two front, bottom, and they're sharp. What? Man, you got to be careful. I'm telling you,
baby's a biter.
Yeah, I mean now he's already gumming like. If you put something in his mouth, he's like to the side. He's gnawing. So like things are developing quickly. Yeah, I'll have to send you the 5-month photo. I forgot, obviously, because you can see the two teeth.
Oh my goodness. Have we started planning? Are you guys Christmas card photo people, or are you just buy cards and or maybe you don't even do Christmas cards, but if you're Christmas card photo people, has that plotting began? Has it already taken place?
Yeah, kind of, but to know we can't claim the reason for it. When we were with my buddy and his wife and kids, they had a tree up already.
Oh,
like,
nice.
Oh, you guys should get a photo in front of the tree. You can use it as your Christmas photo. And we're like, oh yeah, do we do that thing? Is that something we do?
I guess we got to get some stamps.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think I always did it with our family. It was,
yeah.
And in some ways, it was always like, oh, mom wants okay, everyone dressed up and to where we started doing really fun, silly things. Like I think the year it turned when we were getting ready for it, my mom's like, we got it. Oh, we haven't done that, and we're like, all right, dog pile on mom, get a photo, and so we literally did. We dog piled mom.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that was our Christmas photo for the year.
Yeah.
And then from then on out, it was kind of more fun. It's a nice thing to do. Like even I've seen some friends I never thought would be Christmas card people, and it's a great way to keep people in the loop and be like, oh my God, I can't believe so-and-so's kid is already that big. That's amazing. We'll see. To be determined. Keep you in the loop.
So do you guys have any holiday plans coming up?
We do. Both of our families have become very close through our coming together. In our union, our parents have also become friends.
Aww.
And so for the last 3 years, this will be the 4th year running, both families all get together. So my wife has a couple siblings. I've got a sibling, and we will all be coming together in one large house to celebrate, but we're going to do it slightly after.
I forgot your wife is heading to work. Gosh, it's got to be soon-ish.
Yeah, mid-January will be her first shift back. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We shouldn't unpack that now.
No, I don't even it hurts my heart to even think about that. I can't imagine how much it hurts yours and hers.
Yeah. It's I mean, it's a lot to take on, to think about, to plan for, to all that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the fun before is what the focus is now.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's nice too that the time that you've got left is like a holiday time and such a fun time, where there's so many different things to go on and experience and see. And
oh boy, and it's got the grandparents happy, which in the Mima category of things,
yes,
we've got a Mimi, we've got a Gigi, we've got a granddad, and a gong gong, which is like a Chinese thing for grandpa.
So then So then that's the two grand. So then who's Mimi and who's
My wife's mom is Mimi.
okay.
And my mom is Gigi.
Gigi. Okay.
Yeah, I think they both probably wanted Mimi. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But Gigi came up as the second option. So we got Mimi and Gigi. And then my dad's dad was called Granddad, so he took
Oh, that
Granddad.
okay. I like that. And I have to ask, do you have
Oh,
a
sure.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
This one will take a slightly different form, but we'll get to the same place, I think.
Just considering what segment we're going into, when you say a slightly different form, I get real nervous.
Yeah, slightly runny or what?
Right. Yellow
Different
bush.
flow. This one will have this Diaper Diaries will have a slightly different flow.
That's right. You're right.
We'll leave it at
Your diaper sommelier will take you through a journey now.
Mwah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Baby's pooping, and here's the score. Night or day, changing diapers is never a bore. It's always something to be done. It's now a regular chore. But some hit different, and this is a story about one of those. So listen, implore. It was late one night, or actually early morn. We've stopped changing at night because sleep we adore. But on this night, baby woke for a feed and then realized that he had another need. The sound, oh so familiar, so I went for the change. And there it was, just as I had assumed. Nothing too big or too hard to clean, but when I went to put on the new diaper, something came in between. Not once, not twice, or even thrice was it seen, but 4 times to even the score. Yes, sure, after the first I probably should have taken more care. And after twice, yes, that was my bad. I hear you, I swear. But who'd thought there would have been 4? Surely, one would have thought there wouldn't be another at the door. I think we must have been reading some nursery rhymes or green eggs and ham or something.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the illustration to that one.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. So I had a little bit more fun with that one this time. But yes, it was, as we've said, we're not doing as many changes at nights because you don't have to. You can sleep through.
Yeah.
And literally changing, getting the second one on is like, oh, shoot, there's more. And that's happened. That's happened before. So you clean them up again and you're going for it's like, oh my God, a third. Well, gee, well, I'll be. This son of a gun got 3 on me.
You can't get out
Surely
of the
you wouldn't think, right? You would not think. Like, sure, after the second one, I should have been more careful. 4?
Who expects 4?
That's what I'm saying.
Trick baby.
Trick baby. Oh, man. So, yeah, it was a 4 diaper change before the 5th was on, and that was where he went back to bed in a clean diaper.
I was just going to ask if your diaper usage has noticeably gone down, or is it just a little bit less than usual because he's not going through the night?
Yeah, it has gone down, but it's also kind of one of those things you have to keep track of still on the same kind of scheduling because you're not hearing or seeing you're not hearing the poop all the time, so it's not like, oh, well, I gotta go change now because I heard him poop. But he's peeing a lot, and that type of thing you still want to keep track of, one, because if the diaper gets really full and then he does have a number 2, there's no room for it, and so you've set yourself up for failure. But also, 2, just sitting in pee all the time is not great for keeping diaper rash out, and it's sterile, but it starts to build up in there, and certainly overnight he's had some fussy nights where he's feeding more recently during the night, which had kind of started weaning off. And so when the diaper gets too full, there's often no room, and then it's like, oh, he's just laying there in his pee and he's unhappy. And it's like that. I feel like such a bad parent. I like, oh yeah, so you still got to keep kind of track on it. But certainly it's gone down, but not drastically.
Oh, and I wanted to ask, it's been a couple of weeks since we talked last. How are you doing on him falling asleep in your arms during the day? Are you having any? Oh gosh, this
failing.
Squeeze eyes shut. Oh,
yeah, we are definitely at that. Like, I've started to try, and my buddy that we just saw, who has the 2 kids, actually kind of said, like, yeah, it's probably good to start weaning him off of that. It's like, oh, I know, yeah, I'm reading the book, I got it, no problem, yeah. But since he did say that, I tried a couple of days. And even, interestingly enough, on the flight home, we had a seat in between us, as we did on all of our 4 legs, which was so sweet, that we could kind of put him there and play, or put him there and hold some, grab something else out of the bag and get for him. And one point he did fall asleep in my arms. I'm like, my buddy's right. I should get him off of my chest. Like, so I put him in the seat next to us, and then we built a little tent from one of his blankets that we had, and he slept there for a good 45 minutes. So that was nice. And since being home, I've tried a couple times, but my wife and I last night, he did get sick for the first time. That's a milestone I forgot to mention from being around the other kids, which also got my wife sick.
Wow.
And so both of them have been sick. I escaped. But that's made sleep kind of all over the place. And so we've regressed a little bit. And you said after last night, like, yeah, it's probably time for us to really take that on again and, like, get some hard say, especially as we're changing his nighttime crib to the interim crib. We gotta kind of lock some things in from what we've been learning and commit to it and put it to test. Because don't want to be failing him. 1 step forward, 10,000 steps back. It's kind of how it feels right now, but that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, it totally is.
Totally is. Sure. Yeah. That's answer number 10. How long till you put him in? Yeah. So we'll have to reconvene on that one, but it's time to start taking that advice and things we've been learning more seriously, for sure.
Yeah. Nice. Good to chat with you again, buddy.
Always a pleasure, Ed. Thanks, pal.
Yeah, thanks for keeping us in the loop, and look forward to hearing about the next round of adventures.
Same. Until then, Ed.